what do we need to know about this new moon? What do we need to look out for? You know, what is going for us? What is going against us? Okay. So this one is for Aries. Like I say, if anybody can timestamp these afterwards, that would be much appreciated. And also, if anybody wants a personal reading with me, there is a new moon offer on. The links are below. If you just click to that, it will take you to my booking page. And then, like I say, you can see my availability. Please bear in mind that we work on a 24-hour clock, okay? So if it says 3:15, that will be 3 a.m. your time, okay? It would be 15:15 if it was 3:15, okay? I just got to say that because people forget. Right, okay, so this is for Aries, okay? Aries, Aries, Aries. What is this new moon going to highlight for Aries? What to expect? Oof. Right, okay, Aries. I'm sorry, any Aries that are in the house there. Right, Aries. So when I'm looking at this, okay, you've got there's swords up, okay. So be very, very careful with your words, Aries. This is what is coming in, and I feel there's defenses, okay. Defense is coming up here, okay. It's almost like, wow, there's these cards I'm using these cards and they're lovely, okay, they're really, but that is the final one. But what I'm getting here, right, is I'm getting this feeling of like elation. Something could be going right. You know, when I said before about, you know, yeah, then everything's going to turn to shit sort of thing. There's a freedom coming, okay? There's a freedom coming for Aries. It might already be there. I don't know, but it's there. But it's almost like I feel like the brakes being turned on and it's kind of like, oh, shit, right? Okay. And then sort of stepping back and going quite rigid, going quite hard within this. Okay. Now, what I'm getting with this is it's all, I feel this is, again, all to do with thinking, Aries. Okay. So this might be affecting you more than other signs. I haven't done the other signs yet. So I will do them and see if this is the same. But it's almost like I feel you could make a rash decision because of a little thought that you could later regret, okay? So this is what I feel for Aries coming in. Be very careful of rash decisions. Be very careful of speaking words rashly without thinking about them, okay? Be very careful of going cold and hard because that is not what serves you, okay? There is a security here, okay? I don't know if this is something around a house or just a security, because you have your third and final card is a beautiful card, and this is the Four of Wands. And what this talks about is safety. When I mentioned before this safe space, okay, this safe space where you can be yourself, this is it when you get the Four of Wands. Okay, the Four of Wands is about stability, it's harmony, it's happy times, it's being able to be yourself, okay? And it's here, it's almost fruitful. It's like, rather than being scared of this, rather than actually, you know, putting defenses up and trying to stop this, go with it. There is a flow coming in here and there is an opening, and this is absolutely beautiful, okay? It's almost like, you know, when they say home is where the heart is, you know, this is what I feel you need to look at, Aries, and see, where is your heart? You know, where is it, this safe place for you? Because it's almost like I'm seeing you there, bit like a spoiled child. It's like, you know, the shields up, there's defenses. It's almost like ready for a fight when there's no opponent, if that makes sense. So like I say, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the two sides of Gemini, even though this is an Aries reading. And it's almost like, be careful not to self-sabotage yourself, okay, out of either fear or something like that. And it's almost go with the flow, okay? Because this is, when you're flowing, you know, that is when things are going in the right direction. When you put a spanner in them works, this is when everything, you know, you put a spanner in the works, and what happens? Everything goes to shit, okay? So be very, very careful about that, okay? Be very, very careful about that, Aries. I've just pulled a spirit card for you as well. And look at that, what a beautiful card. And this says positive outcome. There's a lot of pinks in this. This is all about rose quartz. There's a lot of emotions in this. So this might be your emotions that you're scared of, Aries. And what this is saying is there's hope. Don't give up now. Have faith, trust. The forces of love are at work behind the scenes. There is a joyous and positive outcome to this. But what that person is doing is surrendering. They're being open. In being open, all of their chakras are aligned, and they are trusting the process, okay? So I hope that makes sense to some Aries there. There is, you need stability in love, Maria. That is it. That is what them cards were saying. It is there. And this is something long term, I feel. This is it. This isn't just short, sporadic. This is a long term thing. And that might be why it's getting a bit scary. Okay. So, right. Who do we have now? We have Taurus. Okay. What have we got? To Taurus. Ooh, Taurus, you're right. Okay, Taurus. There's one fell out there. I'm going to get this. It's pretty similar to Taurus's June reading, I think. Right, okay, Taurus. So when I'm looking at this, okay, I feel what you need to look out for over this new moon is you need to be careful of power struggles and control, okay? Now, Taurus are stubborn, we all know that. But this is, you're saying this Taurus is looking for peace. Well, give yourself some. Good night, Irene. That's what these cards are saying. I'm not saying that personally to you. Although Good Night, Irene was one of my Nana's favorite songs. She was called Irene, and that was a drunk song. So this for Taurus, it's almost like, I feel you being quite rigid, but this is you're wanting to control a situation or you're wanting to control something. You may want to be controlling others. You're being quite finicky, and it's almost like that's not right. That isn't how I would do it. And this is what I'm saying. Be very, very careful of what you say and what you see, because it's almost like I feel there are a lot of illusions around you, okay? There are a lot of options around you as well, though, Taurus. So it's almost like being careful. I feel with this, you could cut your nose off to spite your face in some way. Like I say, Taurus, they're determined. This is a beautiful trait around Taurus. But there's also this controlling aspect, this stubborn aspect, this like bullheadedness, okay? And this is what it's saying to be careful on. Don't accuse anybody of anything unless you are 100% sure of the facts, okay? Be sure whatever you are going after is something you really want and not just something to actually put you in a position of power. Because again, this could come back and bite you on the arse, So it's almost, I feel, Taurus, it's like really keeping your ego in check here. If you haven't got anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Because if you do, I feel this could backfire on you, okay? So it's almost like the only way you need to have control during this new moon time is within your own speaking, okay? So it's almost like putting your hand over your own mouth here. So that is coming in. It's, yes, you like things done right, but you are not the only person that can do them right, Taurus. This is what they're saying. It's like kind of, it's let people do other things their way, and if it's not affecting you or affecting your life, then just let it go. You don't have to come in and be the overseer, be the supervisor of everything. You don't. And this is where I feel you need to just ground yourself, okay? Ground yourself, get clear on what it is you want to do, where you want to go, okay? And if other people have opposing views, let them. Okay, this is where you will find peace, and this is where you will find peace of mind as well. But it's almost like I feel, Taurus, you need to let the love in, okay? It's like only love today. Now, right, okay, that makes sense. When I was channeling this morning about this Gemini moon and about our thinking and about, how we can project and stuff like that, I got in my head the Serenity Prayer, which is what they use within the 12-step program as well. And it's almost like just for today, So if you're having problems with control, it's like just for today, I will not need the need for control. Aries, just for today, I will not be defensive, all of us, you know, just for today, I will be careful of my words. And then tomorrow you can do it again, but not putting too much pressure on yourself, okay? So what this is saying, the card that I'm getting for Taurus, which is quite, it's quite strange considering what I've just said. This is saying, stand up for what you believe in, okay? Speak your truth, no matter what others think. It's time to stand in your own power for the world to see. Now, yes, that might sound like it's contradicting what I've already said, but it's not, okay? Because when you are speaking your truth, you are doing it from a loving place, okay? And yes, you have power in your words. And yes, you can get your point across, but without being controlling, okay? So when you are speaking your truth, that is your truth, but it might not be somebody else's, and you need to accept that, okay? What I'm saying here to be very careful of is actually being overly controlling or overly powerful. When you are exerting power over somebody, that is coming from a place of weakness, not strength. When you can stand there and speak your truth, okay, that is coming from a place of strength. So I hope that sort of makes sense of that, Taurus. Okay. So, right. Who do we have now? Gemini. Right, okay. Whoa. What's happening with these? Oh, Gemini. Gemini's moon, isn't it? And it's wanting to move away. I'm so sorry about this. Right, okay. I'm back. Right, okay. So one more for Gemini. Right, okay. Gemini, this is right. This is your moon. And I feel you've got to be very, very careful, okay? Very careful about what you say, very careful about what fights you take on. Pick your opponents well. It's the same. God, it's all, they're all doom and gloom on at the minute. But what this is saying is, again, like I've just said, don't be rash, okay? Don't be rash with what you're doing. I feel some Geminis, this will be a massive turning point for them, okay? Because it's almost like I see some Geminis, something that they have been holding on to for quite some time. It's like they're going to let go of it, okay? So I feel there's letting go, but it's almost like I feel you need to let go gracefully, Gemini. This is what it says. Exactly, Rick Harvey. Go placidly amidst the noise and haste. Yeah, this is it. You know, we all need to just keep our cool. This is what we need to do. But Geminis, I feel like you've been holding on to something. This might have been in an egoic way. This might have been because you fear losing something. But it's almost like you've been grasping that tight, that it is becoming more painful. And I really feel this is a time of letting go, because I feel you are going into a new cycle. You know, that's quite funny that this is your moon as well, you know, but it's almost like I feel you're going to feel the fear and do it anyway. This is what I'm feeling is coming in with this. Can everybody hear me all right? Is the sound all right on here? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I see some Geminis walking away from something, right? They're going in search of something. They might be going in search of who they really are. You know, what makes you happy? This is it. It's all our thoughts. You know, this is like looking at where we are truly happy, because that is our birthright. A lot of people don't think that they can be happy. They think it's, you know, it's like that's a pipe dream. No, it's not. It is our birthright. Okay. So this is, sorry, yeah. So like I say, some of you Geminis are walking into the dark, really, okay? But this moon is coming to help you. It is massively going to help you if it's your sign. But they're saying there, it will only help you if you help yourself, okay? So you can't expect it to do all the work, okay? You've got to put a little bit in, but this moon is coming to highlight where you need to let go of something you have been hanging on to, okay? Something you may have been fighting for, that where the fight has been futile and it's not working for you, okay? A lot of times when we come up against resistance like this, it is because, you know, we're on the wrong path, or something has actually passed its sell-by date, okay? So like I say, this is what we need to do for Gemini. And I'm going to pull the spirit card for Gemini and see what this is. Right, okay. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Right, can I just say as well, while I'm shuffling here, you know, I really, really appreciate everybody watching these videos. You know, I massively do, from the bottom of my heart. I really, really do. Okay, the messages I get sent and everything is just, you know, it makes my heart burst. It really does. I don't have time to answer every single message. You know, I am going to try and look at taking somebody on to do my admin, because, you know, it's like I say, there's sometimes it's just little back and forth things that take up a lot of my time, and time is very precious at the moment. But I just want to say, okay, that when I'm doing even the monthlies, I mean, I've struggled to get the monthlies done, you know, this month. I am going to try and do the ones I missed. Oh, thank you, Ali Kat. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, that these videos I do, these lives or these monthlies or whatever, you know, I appreciate that people like watching them. They are generals, so they, you know, they're not just your readings for you. You know, they will be hit on point a lot of times, but it is not a general reading. So when I'm getting messages off people telling me that, no, that's wrong, that isn't what's happening, and blah, 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 you know, I'm not reading for you. When I'm reading personally, I am, okay? And also as well, if I can't get them up and I can't get them up on time, you know, it's not because I'm just not doing them. It's because I haven't got the time to do them. I get so many messages of people, you know, shouting, kicking off, telling me, oh, you forgot these videos. I haven't forgot them. You know, how could I forget that I need to do them, you know, and I try. So it's, please, you know, these videos are there. They are not my business. My business is doing personal readings. Okay, I do these are an added bonus. I love doing them, you know, but when you're getting sort of a lot of shit for them all the time, sometimes I just think, you know what, should I just not bother with them? Should I put them on as paid, you know, so at least then the people that are getting them are appreciating, you know, and giving something back. I don't know what to do with it yet, but I just feel the need. Can I please just say, you know, that I do what I can with them. Some months they all go up dead easily and they're all there. And other months there are problems, or there are other things that get in the way, you know, of me putting them up. But like I say, they're not, you know, there's no entitlement to them. You know, I hope that makes sense without me sounding too brutal with it, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of people sort of find that. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm having a right offload here. All right, is Tyler live as well? Is he? Oh, I haven't spoken to Tyler for ages. I really, really, really need to speak to him. Hope you're all right, Tanya. Yeah, I am, you know, and I appreciate the messages, people saying, are you okay? Are you, you know, I am more